Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Buckle up because what we're hearing right now could shake the NFC West to its core. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that would send Derrick Henry, the human tank himself from the Baltimore Ravens, straight to the Seahawks. Yes, you heard that right. Derrick Henry, the powerhouse running back who's been dominating defenses across the league, might be on his way to Seattle. This isn't just idle chatter. Sources close to the situation suggest there's serious talk about this move, and if it happens, it could be one of the most impactful trades for the Seahawks in recent memory. Let's start by setting the scene. The Ravens, currently sitting at 7-6 in what's shaping up to be a tricky 2025 season for Baltimore, are in a bit of a rebuild position. Their defense has struggled, allowing around 25 points per game, which is not enough to keep them in the playoff hunt, especially with a roster that's showing some cracks. The offense, led by Lamar Jackson, has been somewhat inconsistent, and the team's cap situation is tight, with about $14 million in space left. Rumors are pointing towards the Ravens exploring options to shake things up, and Derrick Henry is at the top of that list. Henry, who's been a force of nature in the NFL since entering the league, is in the prime of his career at 31. His production this season has been nothing short of spectacular, rushing for over 320 yards and averaging 5.2 yards per carry. He's scored 11 touchdowns, and according to PFF, he ranks among the league's top running backs with an overall grade of 89.4, which is elite. His elusiveness grade is at 88.2, and he forces defenders to miss tackles, a total of 52 missed tackles this season alone. His receiving stats are also impressive, with 35 catches for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. His career totals are staggering, over 500 rushing yards, 95 total touchdowns, and more than 200 yards after contact, making him one of the most physically imposing backs the league has ever seen. Henry's style is exactly what the Seahawks need to complement their current ground game, which ranks around 10th in the league with 4.5 yards per carry. Imagine adding a back like Henry, who could easily push the Seahawks, rushing yards per game over 400, especially considering the current injuries at the position. Kenneth Walker who's been fantastic with over 150 yards and 4.8 yards per carry, would get a serious boost with a running mate of Henry's caliber. And let's not forget Zach Charbonnet, who's been showing flashes, but with George Halani nursing a concussion from week 10 to 12, adding depth and brute force in the backfield could be a game changer. Now, why would the Ravens consider trading Derrick Henry? Well, apart from the cap constraints and the need to rebuild their passing game, there's the fact that Henry's estimated cost is around $16 million for next season. Baltimore might see this as a good opportunity to pivot, especially if they want to focus on younger players and a more dynamic passing attack. The Ravens are also dealing with a shaky offensive line, which has suffered 4 concussions this season, and their EPA per pass ranks only 19th in the league. Given their current standing, a rebuild might make sense, and moving Henry for some high draft picks could accelerate their plans. Sources like Adam Schefter have started to hint at this possibility, noting that the Ravens are cautious about leaning heavily on a run game with Lamar Jackson slumping, especially with 21 passing touchdowns this season. The idea is that Baltimore might prefer to go younger on the offensive line and focus on building around their quarterback, while shipping out a veteran like Henry to a team ready to maximize his talents. And that's where the Seahawks come in. At 10-3, Seattle is riding high, and their ground game is already solid, ranking 10th in rushing yards per carry. But adding Derrick Henry would be like pouring rocket fuel on an already strong offense. His presence would elevate their rushing attack to new heights, adding over 320 yards per game in ground production, and likely pushing them closer to 400 yards with Henry's workload. This would make their offense even more balanced, forcing defenses to respect both the pass and the run. The Seahawks, offensive coordinator, would have a field day designing plays that feature Henry's brute strength and Walker's explosive speed, creating mismatches that are tough to stop. And it's not just about the rushing yards. Having Henry in the backfield would help the Seahawks sustain drives, improve third down efficiency, which currently hovers around 41%, and keep the defense rested and fresh. Their defense, which is already holding opponents to just 18 points per game, could benefit even more if they're not on the field as much because of a dominant ground game. Plus, history shows that Henry's addition could significantly boost the Seahawks' overall rushing yards, with previous evidence from his impact in 2024, where he added about 220 yards over the course of the season. Looking ahead to the playoffs, this move could be a real game-changer. The Seahawks' Super Bowl odds have already improved from plus 800 to plus 400, and that's not just a coincidence. With a dominant run game, complemented by the passing attack led by Geno Smith and the improving defense, Seattle could be the team to beat in the NFC. The NFC West is already competitive, but adding a player of Henry's caliber could tilt the balance decisively in favor of the Seahawks. Think about it. A run game that's unstoppable, setting up play-action passes and keeping the defense honest. It's the kind of recipe that Lombardi himself would have loved, and it's exactly what Seattle needs to make that final push towards Glendale and a shot at the Lombardi Trophy. Of course, there's always the question of whether the Seahawks are willing to make such a bold move. But considering their recent history of aggressive roster building, remember the trade for Christian McCaffrey in 2022? It's not out of the realm of possibility. The Seahawks have been clear about wanting to contend now and build for the future, and a trade like this would send a message that they're all in. Plus, with the NFC being wide open this year, seizing an opportunity to bolster the roster makes strategic sense. And let's not forget the broader implications. A trade for Derrick Henry could also shift the odds for the Super Bowl LXI. Seahawks odds could see a significant jump, especially if they can leverage his playoff performance. His 89.4 grade and ability to break tackles and gain yards after contact make him an X-factor in any postseason run. The Seahawks coaching staff would undoubtedly maximize his strengths, and with the right scheme, Henry could be the final piece that puts Seattle over the top. In conclusion, folks, this potential trade is more than just a rumor. It's a signal that the Seahawks are looking to make a statement. Derrick Henry's impact on the ground game and overall team dynamic could be the catalyst for a deep playoff run and a shot at their first Super Bowl since 2014. The division rivals better watch out because if this move goes down, Seattle's path to glory just got a lot clearer. It's an exciting time to be a Seahawks fan, and we'll be eagerly watching how this story unfolds. If the front office pulls the trigger, it could redefine the franchise's future and solidify their position as NFC contenders for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Do you think Derrick Henry would be the perfect fit here? Can he help us finally get back to the Super Bowl? Or do you think the front office should hold tight and focus on developing what they already have? Whatever your thoughts are, we love hearing from you. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. This team is on the rise, and with moves like this, who knows how far we can go. Keep the faith, Seahawks fans, the best is yet to come.